IELTS Model Answers. Part 1, Introduction and Interview. Topic 1, Sport Question. Do you enjoy watching sports?
I'd say, I absolutely do. Yes. Though I'm quite selective. While I don't follow every league, I have a keen interest in certain events, particularly the major international competitions like the Olympics or the World Cup. It's the sheer display of human prowess and the intense national rivalry that I find utterly captivating, transcending the sport itself.
What kind of sport is most popular in your country?
Undoubtedly, football, or soccer as some call it, reigns supreme. It's not just a sport, it's a cultural phenomenon. Almost everyone follows the National League, and the atmosphere when the national team plays is truly electric. It virtually brings the country to a standstill. The passion for the game is simply unparalleled.
Did you participate in any sports when you were younger?
Yes, I was quite active as a child. I spent several years playing badminton, which I thoroughly enjoyed because it requires a wonderful blend of agility and tactical thinking. I also dabbled in swimming, mostly for fitness, but badminton was the sport I truly devoted myself to and where I felt I could genuinely hone my skills.
Do you think it is important for people to play sports?
Absolutely, it's paramount. Not only is it vital for maintaining physical health, helping to fend off chronic diseases, but the psychological benefits are arguably even more significant. Team sports, in particular, teach invaluable lessons about collaboration, perseverance, and how to gracefully handle both victory and defeat. These are skills that are transferable to every aspect of life.
IELTS Speaking Test. Topic 2, Work or Studies. Do you work or are you a student?
Currently, I'm a student. I'm in the final year of my bachelor's degree, which is an incredibly demanding but rewarding period.
What subject are you studying, and why did you choose it?
I'm reading data science and artificial intelligence. I chose it primarily because I find the idea of training algorithms to mimic human cognitive processes absolutely fascinating. Moreover, it's a field that is currently transforming virtually every sector of the global economy, so the career prospects are incredibly promising.
Do you prefer working alone or with a group of people?
That's a tricky one, as I see merits in both. For tasks that require deep concentration and analytical rigor, I prefer working solitarily as it allows me to immerse myself fully. However, for brainstorming or tackling complex, multifaceted problems, a group dynamic is far superior. The synergy created by diverse perspectives often leads to much more innovative and robust solutions.
IELTS Speaking Test. Topic 3, Music. What kind of music do you enjoy listening to?
My musical taste is rather eclectic, but if I had to pinpoint a genre, I would say I have a particular predilection for classical and contemporary jazz. I find the intricate improvisation in jazz incredibly stimulating, and the orchestral depth of classical music offers a wonderful sense of calm and complexity. However, I'll occasionally listen to pop if I'm out for a run or need something with a more upbeat tempo.
Did you learn to play any musical instruments when you were a child?
Yes, I did. I took piano lessons for about 5 years. Although I wasn't particularly gifted, I found the discipline of learning to read music and coordinating both hands to be a highly enriching experience. Sadly, I no longer play with the same proficiency, but I can still sight-read basic pieces, which is a lovely skill to retain.
How important is music in your life?
Music is absolutely indispensable. It functions as a genuine emotional barometer for me. When I need to focus, I use instrumental pieces. When I'm feeling low, I put on something uplifting. And when I'm celebrating, it sets the mood. It serves as a constant nonverbal companion that can instantly alter my psychological state.
IELTS Part 2, Long Turn. Cue card. Describe a book that you have read recently that you found interesting.
I'd like to talk about a nonfiction book I finished just last month called Factfulness by Hans Rosling. It is, to put it simply, a revelatory piece of work that completely upends many of the misconceptions we hold about the current state of the world. The book is essentially about global data literacy. Rosling, a public health expert, argues that when we are tested on basic global trends, like poverty rates, population growth, and access to education, most people consistently get the answers wrong. He attributes this to a set of 10 instincts, such as the negativity instinct or the fear instinct, that systematically distort our view of reality, making the world seem far more frightening and desperate than the data actually supports. He uses clear visuals and engaging anecdotes to demonstrate that, on many metrics, the world is in fact much, much better than we believe. I read it primarily during my commute on the train, and also spent several evenings poring over it at home, because I found it so gripping. I think this book would be immensely enjoyable for absolutely anyone with an inquisitive mind, especially professionals in fields like journalism, politics, or education, whose work involves interpreting global trends. It's a fantastic antidote to pessimism. The reason I found it so interesting is that it was a deeply humbling experience. I was genuinely astonished by how many of my own assumptions proved to be incorrect. The book doesn't just present data, it provides a framework for critical thinking. It encouraged me to look beyond sensational headlines and to develop a more evidence-based, nuanced perspective on global development. It was truly an educational and eye-opening read.
Do you think you will read it again in the future?
I don't think I'll reread the whole thing, but I've definitely dog-eared several chapters. It's the kind of book that acts as a valuable reference guide, so I will certainly be returning to key charts and sections to remind myself of its core principles.
IELTS Speaking Test. Part 3, Discussion Topic, Books and Reading Habits. Do you think that reading is as popular now as it was in the past? Why or why not?
That's a contentious issue. While the act of reading words on a page might be less popular in favor of visual media, I would argue that we are reading more than ever, just in a different format. We are constantly bombarded with texts, articles, and emails. However, the sustained deep reading of a long novel or a complex treatise has certainly suffered a decline, chiefly because of the prevalence of instant gratification offered by social media and short video platforms, which fragments our attention spans.
How important is it for children to read for pleasure?
It is absolutely fundamental. Reading for pleasure is the crucible where language development is forged. It vastly expands a child's vocabulary, fosters critical thinking, and crucially, it builds empathy by allowing them to step into the shoes of diverse characters. A child who reads widely develops not just literacy, but also a sophisticated understanding of the human condition, and a thirst for knowledge that schooling alone cannot fully provide.
What are some of the differences between books and films based on the same story?
The primary difference lies in the scope of imagination they demand. A book provides the raw material, allowing the reader's mind to co-create the setting, the faces, and the tone, making it a highly personal experience. Conversely, a film is a director's interpretation. It's prescriptive. While films are powerful because they are sensory and immediate, they often have to truncate subplots and internal monologues for the sake of pacing, meaning the depth and nuance of the original narrative are often compromised.
How might the way people read change in the future, especially with the use of technology?
I envision a future where reading becomes far more interactive and adaptive. We're already seeing augmented reality features being integrated, and I believe text will become personalized, adjusting its difficulty, pace, and even vocabulary in real time based on the reader's comprehension. Furthermore, the convergence of audio and text, driven by AI, will mean that the line between reading and listening will become increasingly blurred, catering to different learning styles simultaneously.
What kind of books do you think will be popular 10 years from now?
I anticipate a surge in popularity for two types of books. Firstly, highly specialized niche nonfiction. The kind that combines complex data visualization with engaging prose, as people seek expert knowledge in an age of misinformation. Secondly, I believe escapist fantasy and science fiction will continue to thrive, particularly those that offer profound social commentary. As the world becomes more technologically integrated, people will seek narratives that either challenge or explore the ethical ramifications of these rapid changes.